All right. All right. And three, two, and one. All right. And welcome back to the Educadence podcast. I appreciate you clicking on this link and either watching this on YouTube, on Instagram, or listening to it, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. So today we got a cool little show. I got my special guest today. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. What's up, my man?
How you doing? I'm Shelby Johnson.
Shelby Johnson is very simple, right? Just Shelby
We
Johnson.
got
Cool, just like it sounds, right? So
Yep.
Shelby, tell me, man, I want to bring you on because I don't know, you're pretty interesting, and we'll get a cool little conversation. Kind of tell me, man. Let's start off with your story, man. Where you're from?
I am from Sacramento. I've been in the Thomas since I was born. I was here when it was dirt fields and
Yeah.
it was nothing.
Yeah,
So
you remember
32 years.
Okay, so Sacktown native,
Yep.
from the Thomas, like you said. So now you just put yourself out there. Shelby, what do you do? Let's just start off, man. So you went to the Thomas High. You went to Christian Brothers for a little bit, but
Mhm.
kind of tell me, man, like reflecting back on school, do you think high school or any of the formal education you got, in high school, elementary, whatever, did that prepare you for what you're doing now? Anything of that?
Um, I think the most I got out of school, I would say high school, was it was more social um, than the education. Because it prepared me to, the real world to be able to, talk to people. Because I was a bit of an introvert growing up and through my school years, and it kind of made me break out of my shell a little bit. Just the social aspect of school, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what the kids are missing right now, right? Like this whole like social thing, and we see it. You have a
Mhm.
son, and we see it with the students. Like, I think this is the biggest thing from not being on the school campus is that social interaction, right? That social, those social skills that people learn. Like you say, if you were introvert back then, and you still kind of are, you kind of keep to yourself. Um,
Yeah,
but you learn a lot of things, right, at school that maybe not in the classroom, but maybe outside, right? So you're kind of probably telling me right now that you learn more from like interacting with other people than anything else, probably.
yeah, definitely. Just being around different people, and I mean, the extent of my social life was sports. So I was around my boys all the time. With sports, going to being in school. I got all the other kids and people doing other things. So it was good for me.
Yeah, man, I think that's definitely what the kids are missing now is like being out there, being able to participate in clubs, sports, anything that's out
Yeah,
extracurricular, right? Because I think, yeah, the school has like a format, right, where you have to like learn English, learn another foreign language, learn math, whatever it may be. But I think there's like so many other skills that like kind of go in with that. You know what I mean? Especially one of the biggest thing I think is social. We've talked about that before, but man, that's cool. So ready? What are you doing right now, then, man? After school, you went to Sac State, right? Don't be shy, man. Tell them what's up.
yeah. So after high school, I went to Sac State on a soccer scholarship, and I was there for I think a year and a half,
Okay.
and it wasn't going the way that I thought it was going to go. It was a lot. I had just turned 17, and it was school. I was working, getting up at 5 a.m. for training, and then doing classwork and all this. It was a little much, and I wasn't prepared. So I ended up removing myself.
And we talk about that. Like I've talked about that with Diego. Other people like the amount of things you have to do at 17, 18. I think it's a lot. You know what I mean? But I mean, there's no other way. I don't know how we
Yeah,
would fix that. But like you just said, so you're trying to play soccer at at the time it wasn't D1, right? It was like 1A, right? Or one, it was like
I
before
think so.
D1.
Yeah,
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 it was like before D1, it
yeah,
was like
yeah.
a little AA. And so it's still a top program. It's still like right now a very competitive program. So you're trying to do that,
Hmm.
and you know how much athletics takes time that you got to do like train in the morning, train in the evening, all that kind of stuff. And then you got to do classes, and then you got to get a little
Right.
job because you're not getting paid to do that, which we could talk about the college thing, how that works.
Exactly.
Um, so you decided to remove yourself. Do you have any regrets of
Hmm.
that? Thinking about that right now?
No, not really. I'm not a big regret guy. I mean, I wish maybe. No, I mean, at the time there was nothing I could do. I wasn't in the place mentally to deal with everything that was going on, and so I think it was best that I try some other things, and I did. I ended up trying a lot of different things after that. So no, it was good that I left that situation.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and as long as you have any regrets, like you were out there, you did it. I mean, other people were like, man, I wish I would
Yeah,
have
yeah,
tried. Or, I wish I would have had an opportunity, but you got the opportunity. You were in it. You got your feet wet. You said, nah, I'm gonna do something else. And
right.
I mean, 1 year of that is still better than most people. You know, some people didn't do it, so you got to play
Yeah,
that
right.
level. So kind of talk about that, man, because obviously I didn't get to go to that level.
Hmm.
Do you think that you were prepared athletically, like when you got there, like as far as like, okay, these guys are what, maybe 19, 20, some guys could be 21, 22, depending on when they graduated. You were 17, right? You're my age.
Hmm.
So we finished high school 17, we went to college at 17. So how do you feel? Do you feel like you were athletically ready for that, as far as like, not so much like just speed and all that, but like even soccer mind? Do you think you had all that?
No, nope, not at all. I thought I was prepared going in, but then you see like, oh no. It's people on the team who, yeah, I had some 21-year-olds on the team. Once it was a 22-year-old. So I mean, I'm playing with adults, and they've been training. They've been in the college, situation. They've experienced it all, and they're ready for it. I wasn't ready for it. I mean, even athletically, I was there. I was athletic. I made the team because of my athleticism. But once I got there, I realized my skills were not where they needed to be.
Mm,
Mentally, I wasn't where I needed to be. My training wasn't where it needed to be. And
mm.
I realized that fast. I think the first practice we had, we ran like 4 miles. I threw up and I was like, okay, all right, this is not
Four
going to
miles.
be. Oh, yeah. That was light work too. 4 miles was just, we start practice with 4 miles.
Right, right.
And I remember throwing up the first day, and my coach was yelling at me, and I was like, this isn't what I expected. I wasn't
Oh,
prepared for that. Playing high school, it was fun, and we had fun,
yeah.
and we messed around, and it was, I mean, we were disciplined, but not the way that we needed to be.
No.
And so getting into that, the college level where discipline is, I mean, they're on you. Everything you do, they're on you. So it was I wasn't prepared at all. No.
And like, I mean, that's got to be with like every sport, though, right? Like, you always think about that. So when you see guys that say like, "Oh, he's a true freshman," like I was thinking about that for football. I'm like, a
Yeah.
true freshman? Like I was thinking about the other day on one of my runs. I just talk to myself when I'm running, and I was like, a true
Mhm.
freshman. Like if I graduated at 17 and I was like that star quarterback, let's just say, I know I wasn't, and then I get like recruited to like whatever UCLA, and I'm a true freshman. So I'm starting at
Mhm.
like 17. 17 going to be 18 against men playing football. Like, how do these guys do
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. That was the thing. It was an intimidating situation. I can tell you that.
And especially like, I mean, soccer when we played is a lot different than now. Like I think if we played in the generation that the kids are playing now, then we would have been way more prepared. I think like, yeah, you were
Hmm.
blessed to have some good coaches, and so was I. I was blessed to have some badass coaches. But I still think like the culture of soccer was not where it is now. You know what I mean? Like we
Oh
trained
yeah.
2 days a week, and that was a big deal, right? Or
Right.
maybe your coach would throw in the third day, and that was like a big deal. But now the kids are training 4 days a week,
4 days
sometimes
a week.
five.
Yeah.
They're traveling like it's nothing, right? Like it's like it's nobody's business. Like people in Arizona, like it's no business. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
when we were playing, remember that it was like very rare. Like, oh wow, that team went to Oregon. Oh, that team went to New York. It was very rare, But now
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
and I don't want to like play it down, but I'm gonna play it down right now. A lot of these kids teams travel like it's nothing. Like that they're not even the best team in SAC, but they're traveling to Vegas. They're traveling to Idaho, or
Right.
whatever. Maybe it's like, bro, you're not even rocking it here. Like, how are these parents just
Yeah.
like? It's just they're just rolling the money,
That's
man.
what it
Like
is now. Yeah. I
it's
don't
just a
know.
money thing, right? So like, I don't know.
I think so.
I wish we had the opportunity to make it more normal. Like I think towards the end we were able to travel more. Like we did the Vegases and the Arizonas and
Yeah. I
the
mean,
Idahos, right? But
right. Yeah. I mean, but
it's not like
that
it
was a
is
big
now.
deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
No,
Like you
that
said,
was
it's
a
a
big
big
deal.
deal.
Like, yeah.
Now
When we went to New York, that was like the biggest thing ever. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. You guys went to New York and you were like, didn't you guys like go to like 2 tournaments or three or something like that, or it was like a little tour or
Yeah.
something?
We did like the Poconos, and then we did somewhere else. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the landscape of soccer has it. And then besides that, remember there was only like 10 comp teams, in your age group around here. Now there's like five in your
Right.
neighborhood. You know what I mean? So like there's you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's okay because it's more accessible. It's more accessible to everybody,
Hmm.
but at the same time that kind of waters down maybe it kind of waters down like what it really is, right? Like trying to be like try to find these like premier players and get them to the next level, right? So
Right.
a lot of
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
playing
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
it's like saturated, right? It's probably AAU basketball probably has that
Saturated.
thing where it's like back then it's like AAU, those guys are going pro, but now there's like every neighborhood
Hmm.
AAU team. So it's
Everybody's an AAU now. Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
it's like it's
Yeah.
good because you give an opening to people that maybe didn't have that chance, like kids that didn't get the opportunity before.
Hmm.
but it just, I think it's just going to saturate it. It's like, so now they're starting to make like even like higher levels than that. Like, oh, we got this level. Okay, well, we have another level, like another
We
level.
got
Like,
we got the platinum level, and then you got the right.
all these
Yeah.
levels and stuff. Okay, so you got there, you were playing at Sac State, which is, Stingers up.
Yeah.
When you say obviously athletically they made you to do all these running and stuff, like I kind of want to know because the coach has been there, he's still there. I don't know, man. What do you think your life would be if you had maybe played for 4 years? Like, what do you think you'd be doing right now? Like, you know what I mean? Because you'd probably be doing something else for sure.
Yeah, the plan was to play semi-professionally and maybe professionally overseas. So that when I got to college, I was like, okay, I'm gonna play here for a couple of years. I'm gonna refine my skills. I'm gonna get to where I need to be, and then let's start thinking about going overseas to play. That was the plan.
Right.
And that fell apart within a few months of playing. I realized this might not be playing at this level might not be what I want to do.
But you weren't the only one though. Like let's think about that. Like at every school, there's probably like 2 or 3 guys that do that, right? Per season. You know what I mean? They're just like, I'm gonna go do this, and then they end up their life takes them somewhere else. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're the only one to do that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like remember Fernando?
No, it's only probably a
remember Fernando? He made Fernando Cavadas. Remember he made the he made the MLS. Remember Fernando? He made the MLS and
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Even Ernie was balling too, and they there's not enough spots for everybody, man. It ends. You know what I mean? You can't be there forever, man. It's like that's what they say.
It was
hard,
Yeah, and it was a little upsetting just because I had dedicated a decade of my life to soccer. I mean, that's it. Thinking about it since I was 4 or 5 years old, it was just nonstop. And then when I got older, it was maybe a couple weeks out of the year that we had a break because we had club, we had high school, we had the Super Y League, we had off-season training. It was just nonstop soccer preparing me for this level. And then when I get to this level, it's like I'm out. So it was a little hard, but
So I kind of thinking about that. You think we probably burn out our athletes, right? Now that you talk about all those things you do with your kids, like you sign them up and you're doing all these things, not just money and time, but it's like, I don't know if all that and then it ends at 18, it's kind of like, damn, why'd you do all that for? You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of parents they make their kids do too much before they turn 18. It's like, bro, that's a little too much. You know what I mean? Like, but like you said, you were at that level, so it's not like your mom was, pushing you to something you didn't want to do. You were there. You were you were part of a group.
Yeah, she my mom, it was like, well, we did it. I got my son a scholarship in the college.
That was her. She washed her hands. Like I did my job. I did. Yeah.
I did it. I'm good. I don't have to do another thing for myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was an accomplishment to be able to say, you got a full ride to college. It's still something.
Shell did her job. Shout out Shelby Johnson. She did her job. Okay, so let's bring her up, man. So, man, your mom's been hustling since day one. Since I known her, she's been hustling, man, with business and all that. And then she got you into real estate, right? So, kind of tell me about that, man. Did you obviously you went into real estate because your mom, right? She probably told you to do it, or what?
It was attractive for me seeing her do it. And she's a hustler. So she's big time, and she's doing what she has to do. But she said, why don't you think about getting into it? We could do like a mother-son team. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So I started going to school for it. It took me a couple of years to actually get into it because I was working at the time full time, and so I did an online course. And once I was done with that, just had to take the test, and that was it. We were off.
There's classes for this, or is there classes for
this?
Yeah. What's the step to that?
So you can go to ARC. Okay. So you can go to like ARC or like a city college or whatever to take real estate courses. But they also have online courses that you can sign up for, you pay for, and then you just do it at your own pace. So that's what I was doing. I was doing it at my own pace, which probably wasn't great because again, it took me 2 years. And if I was in school, I probably would have been done quicker, but it was what it was. But yeah, it's just, it's not too expensive either to get into it.
Okay. So what was attractive about it? Obviously,
the financial, with the opportunity, the earning potential, financial freedom, the potential of that was attractive to me, not having to work for anybody necessarily. You put your license with somebody and, that's that, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to just do what I wanted to do.
Do you think there's like too many people doing real estate now?
I think
You
it's a little